You're listening to the Cool Audio Podcast, your escape into the world of stories, sounds, and imagination. Whether you're driving, chilling at home, or just need a moment to unplug, we've got a story just for you. So sit back, relax, and let the journey begin. No, I don't want to be a godfather. Chloe rolled her eyes at Justin. What? Are you despising my son? Of course not. I don't dare to despise him. I'm just afraid that Pudding and Little Bean will get jealous. They're so close to me, but even they haven't acknowledged me as their godfather. This Dawson boy isn't even born yet, and you already want me to be his godfather. I'm afraid that they'll fall out with each other. The thought of the twins being jealous made Justin nervous. Justin doted on the twins as much as Jack did. All these years he had done enough for both the mother and daughters. Anyone would be touched, even if they had a heart of stone. After hearing Justin's explanation, Chloe smiled. That's easy. Just let the three of them acknowledge you as their godfather. That's even worse. I'm still so young. I haven't even gotten married yet. If I get called Dad first, will I be able to get a wife in the future? You don't want me to be single forever, do you? Justin couldn't help but laugh out loud, but Chloe didn't smile. She looked at Justin seriously and approached him. She reached out and plucked the leaf from his head gently. Then, in a very low voice, she said, "Why would I want you to be single for the rest of your life? Justin, do you believe me? In this world, there's no one who wants you to be happy more than I do. Really? There's no one else." These words made Chloe's eyes tear up. Chloe dared to say that her desire for Justin's happiness was even greater than Mr. Cooper, Mrs. Cooper, and Grandpa Cooper. If Justin could find his happiness, she would be the happiest person in the world. No one knew how much she owed Justin. She would never be able to repay the debt in this life. If she could not sacrifice her life, she would never be able to repay the debt. Even if she had to sacrifice her life, it would not be enough. This was why when Justin was kidnapped and Chloe was about to give birth, she stood up to save him. She would rather die with her child than let Justin die. This was because if Justin was dead, she would never be able to repay him. The scriptures said that humans had 3 lifetimes. Could she return her debt of gratitude in this life in the next lifetime? However, Chloe was an impatient person. She thought that it was a lie to wait until the next lifetime for repayment. Who knew what would happen in the next lifetime? Therefore, she had to return it in this life. Hey, look at you. I was just joking. How could you take it seriously? I'm really not used to you being so serious. Don't worry. I'm handsome, have a good figure, and have endless money. I can be considered someone who can call the wind and summon the rain in the city. It's definitely not difficult to get married. I won't be single for life. After all, I'm not a monk. Haha, don't cry. Once you cry, I'll feel guilty. If people see this, they'll think that I bullied you. To make Chloe happy, Justin pretended to fantasize about the future. Actually, he knew that the second time he entered the dream, there would be no future. However, he would never let Chloe know about this. As for when Chloe finds out, he might not be around anymore. At that time, it would be enough as long as he did not personally witness her heartbreak. Was he a great savior? No, he was never great, and he was not a savior. Master Thorin was right. Instead of saying that he had come back to save everyone and these friends, it was more for Chloe. Justin only had one woman in his life that he wanted to protect, so how could he let anything happen to her? Okay, I'll give you a big present when you get married. Chloe smiled through her tears. Really? How big is the gift? As big as you want. Haha, can I have GK? Sure, I'll give it to you. So generous. Damn, forget it. I don't want it. I'm afraid Jack will kill me. My husband isn't that unreasonable. I'll give you whatever you want, even if it's my life, Chloe said. Look, here you go again. Didn't we agree that it's just a joke? I'm not going to chat with you anymore. People like you can really kill the conversation. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat. Justin picked up the spraying can and left. Chloe stood still. Jack was right. Justin was hiding something from them. Although he refused to admit it, his eyes could not deceive anyone. Justin tried his best to hide his panic and emotions. However, Chloe knew Justin too well, so she could tell. If Justin didn't tell her, she wouldn't know about it. Chloe planned to tell Jack about it before she went to bed, at the first hospital in the dream. As usual, Thomas went to the cafeteria to get some food before returning to his room. Then he sat on the edge of Stella's bed, eating and watching her. After his sister came back, he still hadn't been to South Hill Manor. His brother-in-law called him several times, but he was hesitant to speak. Chloe briefly told him about the dream through the call. However, with Thomas's brain, he wasn't able to react in time. He still couldn't believe that everything he was experiencing was just a dream. Thomas looked at the rice and eggplant in the lunchbox. He wasn't in the mood to eat. His family had been blissful originally, but there was Stella's accident. Then his mother fell ill, and his father went missing. The series of blows had already overwhelmed him. He even went to work previously and came to take care of Stella after. When Jack saw how listless he was, he asked Avery to go back to the company to help out. When Avery wasn't around, there were still Assistant Mark and some of the higher-ups, so Thomas placed all his heart on his wife. Stella was older than Thomas, and she looked like a mature woman. She was smart, charismatic, and capable. She was the backbone of GK. She was also Jack and Chloe's trusted aide. The truth was, Thomas and Chloe both understood. Stella was at a loss marrying Thomas. After all, Stella was obviously better in terms of looks, figure, ability, and character. Everyone in the company thought that she had chosen Thomas because he was Jack's brother-in-law. Chloe's brother. They thought that there was such a connection. But Chloe knew that Stella wasn't that kind of person. She chose Thomas because she had developed feelings over time. A strong woman naturally could not find a strong husband. The personalities of the couple had to complement each other. It was best to use softness to overcome strength. Otherwise, they would never get along. Therefore, even though Thomas was mediocre, he was honest and reliable, and he would do his best to accomplish anything. In short, he wasn't that outstanding, but he was still average. He was an ordinary person with ordinary looks and abilities. He was able to live in a luxurious house, drive a luxurious car, and marry such a good wife because of his sister. Thomas knew this as well. After they got married in a low-key manner, Thomas doted on Stella and listened to everything she said. Thinking about how sweet the two of them used to be, Thomas felt a little sad and almost burst into tears again. "Thomas." A familiar voice came from the bed. Thomas was frightened, and he thought he was hallucinating. Upon closer look, it was indeed Stella on the hospital bed. "Wife, you're awake?" Stella's sudden awakening made Thomas so excited that he couldn't speak properly. "Thomas, I'm a little thirsty." Stella's eyes were a little unfocused, and her voice was also very faint. Fortunately, Thomas heard her clearly. He got up quickly and poured Stella a glass of water. "Here, wife, drink it with a straw." Thomas carefully held the glass of water and fed it to Stella. After helping Stella drink the water, Thomas rushed out like the wind and shouted, "Doctor, nurse, come take a look. My wife is awake. She's awake." Thomas had been here for a long time, so everyone knew him. As soon as they heard that Stella was awake, the doctors and nurses on duty came to this ward. The ward was instantly filled with people. "Dr. Khan, how's my wife?" He watched the doctor examine her for a long time, holding the flashlight and shining it at Bella's pupils, looking very professional. "It's a miracle. Your wife is basically fine. I suggest that she stay in the hospital for a few more days for observation. Then, we can plan our next step." Okay, we'll definitely listen to you. Thank you, Dr. Khan." Thomas was as happy as a child, almost dancing with joy. After the doctors and nurses left, Thomas took out his phone to make a call. "What are you doing?" "I'm going to call Mom and Sis to tell them that you're safe. They must be so happy. You have no idea how worried everyone was about you while you were unconscious." "There's no rush, Thomas. Come here." Stella waved her hand and asked Thomas to sit on her bed. Sure. What can I do for you, wife?" Thomas held Stella's hand and kissed it. But it was strange. Stella's hands were cold. He hurried to warm her hands with his own. Then, he even breathed out warm air on it. "Thomas, did anything happen while I was unconscious?" "Yeah, a lot happened. I don't even know where to start. Anyway, There were a lot of things that happened. My sister was in trouble, and my brother-in-law was worried too. Fortunately, they're all back safely now. Oh, right. My sister also said that what we're going through now is a dream, not the real world. She also said that she would tell me in detail when she's free. I didn't really understand it. Oh, I see. Stella nodded and looked down. It was unclear what she was thinking. What's wrong, wife? Nothing. I'm a little tired. Don't call Mom and Sister. Just spend more time with me. How could Thomas refuse Stella's request? He immediately bent down in front of the bed and said, Sure, as long as you're fine, I'll do anything. Stella smiled and said nothing. That evening, South Hill Manor welcomed the last batch of guests. Everyone was happy that Max and Avery came back with the twins. However, no one noticed that Jack and Chloe looked at the child with a weird expression. Daddy, Mommy, we're back, Little Bean said with a smile. Handsome Cooper, did you miss us? Pudding glanced at Justin and asked. If it was in the past, everyone would definitely have nothing to say to the child. They would melt from their cuteness and dote on them lovingly. But now, Justin, Jack, and Chloe all thought of an important question. Lynn was dead, Liz was dead, but the imaginary twins were still around. When the dream creators die, the things they created would collapse. Messiah, Layla, Granny, and the rest had disappeared one after another. If the twins were still alive, it meant that the dream creator who created them was not dead. Or perhaps the dream creator was hiding among the two children? This terrifying thought made the three of them shudder. Of course I miss you guys. Justin remained calm. No one could see any abnormality. Pudding, did you have a good trip? Kenneth walked over to Pudding. Chloe quickly pulled Pudding back so that he could keep a distance from her. After all, the twins might be a time bomb in the dream. As for Kenneth and Ethan, they had probably entered the dream. Since everyone is here, let's get ready to eat. I've prepared hot pot for everyone. Avery, don't you love spicy Sichuan hot pot? Chloe smiled at Avery. Avery immediately leaned on Chloe's shoulder like a spoiled child. Thank you, sister-in-law. All right, let's eat. Mommy, I heard Auntie and Grandpa are here too. Where are they? Little Bean asked Chloe eagerly. I'm here. Everyone looked over and saw Fiona and Riker walking back. Pudding and Little Bean immediately pounced on her. Aunt, we missed you so much. Auntie misses you guys too. Come, let me see. Oh my God, our Little Bean has gained weight. Your face is round and chubby. Where's Pudding? She seems to have grown taller too. It's only been a while since we last met. You two have changed a lot. Heh, we ate well and drank well. It's not strange for us to grow fat and tall. Auntie, you're still so beautiful. Our auntie is the most beautiful woman in the world. I've never seen such a beautiful woman before. Auntie, you should join a beauty pageant. Little Bean always liked to suck up to others, so she kept praising Fiona. Of course, Fiona knew that there was something fishy going on with the twins. However, in this situation, they didn't expose them because they wanted to continue acting with them to see if they could expose them. Ha ha, you little brat. You're the only one with such a sweet mouth. Pudding, I heard that you've made a lot of money in the stock market recently. How is it? Do you have enough capital? Do you need me to sponsor you? Fiona reached out and patted Pudding's head. No need. My money is enough for me to use as capital. Auntie, I heard that you've accepted Uncle Riker's proposal? Everyone turned to look at Pudding after she said this. Anne's expression froze. Ha, you sure are well informed. You found out so quickly? Yeah, your marriage is a big deal. Little Bean and I have to be your flower girls. Okay, my little flower girl, ha. I'm afraid you two are the most expensive flower girls in the world. Fiona beamed, and Riker smiled as he watched Fiona talk to the twins. Pudding, Little Bean, stop sticking to your auntie. Go upstairs and see Grandpa, Chloe reminded them. Okay, Mommy, we'll go now. The two children ran upstairs to the study room. Let's get ready to eat. We can't fit so many people in the dining room, so Justin and I have prepared 2 tables in the backyard. There's one for the male guests and one for the female guests, Jack said. Brother, you're so thoughtful. Ha, I've been craving hot pot in the States these past few days. The hot pot over there doesn't taste good at all, Avery said as she held onto Jack's arm. Avery and Max were the only two people who didn't know it was a dream. Chloe and Jack didn't have the chance to say anything when the two of them came back from the long journey. "Master Cooper, did you miss me?" Max imitated a girl's voice and reached out to touch Justin's chest. Everyone burst into laughter. Justin immediately pushed him away. "Pervert, stay away from me." "Ha, don't be so cruel to me. You have no idea how much I miss you and old Blake." Brenton, "Thank you. I don't need you to miss me. Thank God you didn't cause us any trouble." Max, "When did I ever cause trouble for you two? When we were kids, I was the first one to rush up and protect you two. Idiot, have you forgotten?" Brenton, "Idiot, we didn't forget. You rushed up because you were the first person they wanted to beat up. If you hadn't gone up, we'd definitely have been at a disadvantage. Don't make it sound like you were sacrificing a lot for us." Max, "Brenton, what you're saying is so disappointing. Do you remember that one time we went to the orchard in the suburbs to steal some fruits, and then the farmer's dog ran out? You were so scared that your legs were cramping, and I was the one who carried you to run away?" Brenton, "You have the cheek to mention this to me? Why don't you think about why my legs were cramping? It's all because you couldn't reach when you were picking the fruit. Then, you sat on my neck, and your bear-like body pressed me down until I almost couldn't breathe. That's how I sprained my ankle." "Ha, how much dark history do you two have?" This was the first time Victoria had heard about her husband's embarrassing childhood. She laughed until her stomach hurt. As someone involved, Justin didn't say anything and watched from the side. The truth was, Justin was not just checking if their memories were different. After all, dream creators could share their memories. Justin was observing Max and Brenton's expressions when they talked about this. All these years, the three of them had grown up together and understood one another's habits too well. So their micro-expressions could not be fake. Justin observed them for a long time, but there were no flaws. Therefore, Justin was glad that both of them could be cleared of suspicion. That would be great. Otherwise, if a dream creator appeared between Brenton and Max. Given Justin's many years of relationship with his two buddies, it might not be easy for him to do anything. At this thought, Justin secretly sighed in relief. "Master Cooper, come here and be the judge. When I was young, wasn't I very loyal and protected you two many times?" Max pulled Justin into the fray. Justin looked up and rubbed his neck. He sighed in an exaggerated manner. Let's not talk about our childhood. After all, it's too far away, and it's all in the past. But now, young Master Max values women over friends. Ever since you and Avery got married, you've disappeared from our sight. Tell me, how many times have you been to the States in the past year?" Brenton, "Yeah, say it." Max, I've only been there a few times, haha. Brenton, "Shameless brat. You still dare to say that it's only a few times? That passport of yours has more travel seals than ancient scripture. They're all American seals. How dare you say you did not travel frequently?" Max, I'm just going there to travel, and you're not letting me do that?" Justin, "Are you sure it's traveling? You're obviously accompanying your wife to see your father-in-law. Look at how useless you are. You're a typical henpecked husband now. You used to be a man, but now you're like an obedient husky, following Avery everywhere." Brenton, "No, I should say that he's a teddy bear, sticking to Avery." Max rolled his eyes at the two of them. "Are you two done? You're addicted to teasing me, right? Is it fun?" As they chatted excitedly, Jack suddenly dragged Justin out. "What's the situation?" Justin, "I need to go to the hospital. I think something happened there." Jack's expression was serious. "What happened?" Seeing the rare anxiety and seriousness on Jack's face, Justin knew that something serious had happened. "I've been arranging for people to hide in the hospital, but now I've suddenly lost contact with them." "When did this happen?" "An hour ago." "Call Thomas. Isn't he at the hospital?" "I can't reach Thomas's phone either." "That's weird. Where's Chloe's mother? Auntie Sandra?" Justin looked at Jack. "I can't contact her either, so I'm going to take a look myself." "I'll go with you." "There's no need for that. You should stay behind to take care of everyone. I'm afraid that it's a trick to lure the tiger away from the mountain. If I leave, what if something happens here? There are many people here, and I don't know who is the dream creator in disguise." "But you also can't go alone." Last time you could kill Liz because you were lucky. You saw through her, and she wasn't prepared. But this time, it's obvious that they are prepared. The problem is, we don't know who's the dream creator between Auntie Sandra and Thomas. If you go and the dream creator suddenly attacks you, you'll die. Justin's analysis was right. The biggest problem now was not knowing who the dream creator was. All of a sudden, they lost contact with the hospital. They also could not be certain that the dream creator was behind this. In short, everything was unknown. Maybe I'm thinking too much. What if nothing happened and you came with me for nothing? Jack smiled. It's fine even if I went for nothing. I can't let anything happen to anyone in our group, so I have to follow you. Justin was determined to follow Jack. Seeing Justin so determined, Jack didn't want to argue with Justin anymore, so he nodded. What are you two talking about? Why are you being so secretive? We can eat the hot pot now. Come on, Victoria shouted as she stood at the door. Victoria, we need to go out and buy something. You guys eat first. Jack calmly found a suitable reason. Victoria looked at Jack, then at Justin, and nodded. All right then. You guys go ahead. We'll eat first and wait for you guys while we eat. Just like that, Jack and Justin left. Are you driving or me? Justin asked Jack, because there was a row of luxury cars in front of South Hill Manor. Jack's Bentley, Chloe's Audi R8, Justin's Lamborghini, Brenton's Range Rover, Riker's Maybach S680, and Noah's Jaguar. People who knew would know that this group of people was of close brothers and friends. Those who didn't know might think that this was a meet-and-greet meeting organized by a luxury car club. Justin was right. They couldn't possibly drive two cars, right? It was a difficult decision. He looked at the row of luxury cars and asked Jack. Jack was silent for 3 seconds. Justin almost vomited blood after hearing his sentence. This also became the only time between the two of them, and also the last time that they had such a fun conversation. Jack said, "Rock, paper, scissors?" Justin was speechless. "You don't agree?" Jack looked at Justin seriously. Justin was in disbelief. "No, I'll interrupt you first. To decide whose car to drive. What does it have to do with rock, paper, scissors? I'm really confused. Is your thinking too fast, or am I too stupid?" Mr. Dawson's words confused Justin so much that he began to doubt his life. If Chloe was present, she would be laughing her ass off. In this world, only two weird men would have such weird dialogue. Upon hearing this, Jack's face darkened, and he continued in a serious tone. "What I mean is, if you win the rock, scissors, paper game, I'll be the driver and drive my Bentley. If you lose, you'll be the driver and drive your Lamborghini. Understand?" Justin finally understood. I understand. You don't have to go through so much trouble. I'll be your driver, and drive my Lamborghini." Justin didn't seem to care. It didn't matter who drove. They were all godlike drivers. However, Mr. Dawson was relentless. "No, we can't do that. We must play rock, paper, scissors." "I'll just take it as if you won, okay?" Justin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "No." "Hey, why are you so stubborn? I'm letting you win and I'll be your driver." "No." All right, come on, rock, paper, scissors." Justin had no choice but to hide his fists behind his back. Thus, the two men started to play rock, paper, scissors in front of a row of luxury cars. 1 round to determine the winner. For the first round, both of them put out a pair of scissors at the same time. For the second round, both of them threw rocks at the same time. For the third round, Justin played scissors and Jack a rock. "You win," Justin said. Mr. Dawson nodded. "So I'm still the driver," Justin said. "Yeah." "Damn, didn't I just say that I was going to be the driver? Wasn't that great? Why do you have to play rock, paper, scissors?" "This is different." "How is it different?" Justin wasn't convinced. "It has a different meaning. You were clearly giving in to me earlier, but now I'm winning fair and square," Jack said. Justin was speechless. Inside the castle, Chloe was trimming the chrysanthemum's leaves when she saw 2 people standing in front of a luxury car. Due to the distance, she could not hear what they were saying clearly. However, Chloe saw them playing with rock, paper, and scissors. At that time, she almost burst out laughing. Her first reaction was to put down the scissors in the water and pick up her phone. Unfortunately, they were too fast. By the time Chloe picked up her phone, their battle was over. Justin looked like he had nothing to live for. Just as he was about to walk towards Lamborghini, Mr. Dawson quietly said, "Justin, stop driving." "If I'm not driving, are we going to walk there?" Justin turned around and said to Jack, who had just played him, "Don't you have the prayer beads?" Jack pointed at the beads on Justin's neck. "Huh? Yeah. Haha. Why didn't I think of that?" Justin touched the prayer beads on his neck and giggled. This was in a dream. The prayer beads that Master Thorin gave him were still useful, but Justin thought of it as the real world and forgot about his ability to teleport. "Because you're stupid," Mr. Dawson replied casually. Justin was speechless. "Jack, if I were a girl, I wouldn't be with you. You're so good at attacking people, you're not gentle at all." Justin replied through gritted teeth. "Don't worry. If you're a girl, I don't want you either. You're such a spendthrift. I can't afford to raise you." Justin was speechless. At this moment, if Chloe heard these words again, she would probably explode in laughter. Jack was such a serious person, but she never thought that he would be so funny that he couldn't stop. Moreover, he looked so experienced. Justin was stunned. "Are we still going to the hospital?" "Of course." "Come here, hold my hand," Justin shouted impatiently. After all, if he wanted to transmigrate with Jack, he needed some form of physical contact. Jack walked over, but he didn't hold Justin's hand. He was afraid that it would be too intimate, so he only held on to Justin's sleeve. When Chloe saw this scene, she was about to blurt out, "There's something going on." However, before Chloe could say her sentence, the two men disappeared. Chloe was surprised at first, but then she realized that Justin must have used his prayer beads. After all, this was in a dream, so it was very convenient to travel anywhere. "What is it? Chloe, what are you looking at?" Sarah walked over and placed her hand on Chloe's shoulder. The warmth from her palm warmed Chloe's shoulders. "Nothing. Can we eat hot pot now?" "We can eat now, pregnant woman. There's also your favorite seafood, shrimp paste, and crab." Yes, I should eat more, even in the dream. Chloe was suddenly in a good mood. She took out her phone and sent Jack a message. After she sent it out, she immediately deleted it. This was because she did not know whether there were any dream creators among this group of people. Hence, it was better to keep some things private. Jack and Justin arrived at the first hospital in an instant. Initially, Justin thought that he would appear beside anyone he thought of. Justin knew Thomas, so he thought about him. But when they arrived, they were only at the entrance of the first hospital. They were not in the ward, and they didn't find any trace of Thomas. Eh? Strange. How did this happen? This was Justin's first time encountering something like this, and he was confused. He thought that the prayer beads were broken. Who knew that there was something else? Jack could not speak to Justin in time when he heard his phone ring. He took out his phone and looked at it. His expression remained unchanged. "What is it?" "Chloe sent me a message," Jack said. Justin immediately became nervous. "What's wrong? Did something happen at home?" "No, Chloe said that she found a way to differentiate between dream creators and us." "Oh? So magical? What is the method?" Justin always knew that Chloe was extremely smart. Therefore, it was not difficult for her to find the loopholes in a short period of time and understand the difference between dream creators and them. At least, Justin believed that Chloe could do what others couldn't. Jack looked down at his phone and repeated Chloe's message. She said that a normal person's hands should have some temperature, but a dream creator or a fictional monster's hands are cold. Justin didn't know what to say. Lynn's hand was like this. As for Liz, I've never touched her, so I won't comment, Jack said. Oh, I remember now. Layla was like that too, but I'm not sure about James, Justin said. Later, he remembered his contact with Layla. Indeed, when he accidentally touched her, her hands were cold, and there was no warmth. It was only when Sarah accidentally touched Chloe and Chloe felt her palm's warmth, then did she think of it. However, the additional remark after that was her personal opinion. As for whether it was right or wrong, it was still uncertain. For the time being, it should not be the only criteria to recognize the dream creator. Let's go upstairs and find Thomas first, Jack suggested. Okay. Then Jack and Justin went upstairs and entered Stella's ward. The ward was unusually quiet. Justin pushed open the door and was about to enter when Jack stopped him. Then he handed the dagger to Justin and said, "Be careful. I feel like something's wrong." Justin took the dagger and nodded without saying anything. Then Jack kicked the door open. But Justin and Jack were stunned by what they saw. The ward was empty. After looking around, they heard the sound of running water coming from the washroom. Then the water stopped. A figure walked out from inside, and the two men held their breaths, planning to fight to their deaths. Unexpectedly, the person who came out was indeed Stella in a hospital gown. Perhaps it was because she had been lying down for too long, but she did not look good. "President Dawson, President Cooper, why are you guys here?" Stella walked out after washing her hands and was shocked to see the two men. "Stella, when did you wake up?" "Today? Why didn't you tell me about this?" Jack looked at Stella warily. "I heard from Thomas that Sister Chloe just came back safe and sound. There's a bunch of stuff going on at home, so I thought I should recover first before telling you guys. The doctor said that I'm fine, and I just did a full body checkup." Stella smiled, looking energetic again. "Stella, where's Thomas?" Jack asked. After all, if Stella woke up, Thomas would definitely accompany her. That was why Jack asked her with suspicion. "Thomas, he just went downstairs. Didn't you see him?" "No, when did that happen?" Justin froze. "Just now. He is really weird today. He was wearing a baseball cap and a mask when he left, as though he was a celebrity." Stella laughed. Jack and Justin looked at each other as if they understood each other. "What did he go out for?" Jack asked. "He said he's going to buy me dinner. I think I've been lying here for too long, so I don't taste anything in my mouth. I kept wanting to eat something spicy and sour. Thomas said that there's a street up there, and there's an authentic spicy and sour noodles shop, so he went to order takeaway for me." "Okay, let's go find him," Jack said as he pulled Justin out. "Hey, President Dawson, just wait here. He'll be back soon. It's not far." "No, I have something urgent to discuss with Thomas." Then, Jack and Justin both left the room and rushed downstairs. When they went downstairs, Justin said, "Do you think there's something wrong with Thomas?" "Yeah, Thomas knows about all the people I've arranged. If I can't contact them, Thomas must have known what's going on. Plus, if he was going out to buy food, why would he wear a hat and mask? It's suspicious," Jack analyzed. "Huh? Now that you mention it, I remember someone wearing a hat and mask when we came in just now. He brushed past us. Now that I think about it, when the prayer beads sent us here, we were right beside Thomas. It was us who missed and didn't see him. That's why we thought there was a problem with the prayer beads." Justin finally understood why the prayer beads sent them to the hospital entrance and not the ward. Thomas was at the door at that instant, but because he was wrapped up, they did not see him. "Why are you running? We have the prayer beads. He won't be able to escape this time." Justin held onto Jack's shoulder and began to use the prayer beads at a corner where there were very few people. He hoped to find Thomas again. 3 seconds later, the two of them appeared on a dilapidated street. The man in front of them was wearing a hat and mask. In a fit of anger, Justin went up and grabbed the man. "Ouch! Who is it? It hurts so much." The man turned around, and Jack took off his mask. It was indeed Thomas. "Hey, brother-in-law, Brother Justin, how did you guys know I was here?" Thomas was very happy to see Jack. Just as Justin was about to make a move, Jack gave him a look. Therefore, Justin decided to wait and see what Jack wanted to do. After all, Jack knew Thomas better than anyone else. If Thomas was really the dream creator, Justin believed that with his and Jack's strong consciousness, they would be able to kill the third dream creator together. "Thomas, Justin, and I have something urgent to talk to you about, but you weren't at the hospital, so we came out." "Yeah, I'm here to buy food for Stella. I have to wait in line for a long time, so I came out early." "Then why are you wearing a mask and hat when you are just coming out to buy food?" Justin still didn't believe Thomas's words and was clearly questioning him. This was indeed suspicious. Thomas wasn't a celebrity, nor was he a public figure. If he came out, there was no need for him to be so wrapped up. "Ah, it's Stella. She's so paranoid after she woke up. I think she's suffering from delusional disorder. She saw me going out alone and said that she was worried that someone would follow me. After all, I'm a high-level executive of GK. I'm fine with it, but to please my wife, I'll just do whatever she wants." Thomas was still smiling. However, both Jack and Justin's expressions changed drastically. "What did you say? Did Stella ask you to do this?" Justin anxiously tugged at Thomas's collar. "Ah, right. What's wrong, Brother Justin? Why do you and my brother-in-law look like this? Did I do something wrong?" Thomas looked confused. Justin and Jack looked at each other. Their gaze seemed to know what the other party was thinking. However, it was undeniable that the dream creator could also put on an act again. He could pretend to be stupid and shift the blame of being a dream creator onto Stella. Therefore, after 3 seconds, Jack decided to ask Thomas another question and see how he would respond. From that, they would determine which the real dream creator was between Thomas and Stella. "Thomas, where are the bodyguards I arranged for you guys at the hospital? Why can't I contact them?" Well, Stella said there's no use for them. She's already awake and will be discharged soon, so we terminated them." Thomas didn't seem to be lying. Jack looked into Thomas's eyes and couldn't see any flaws. "They're terminated?" Jack frowned. Terminated. She's the boss now, so she can do whatever she wants." Thomas still didn't understand what his brother-in-law was feeling and continued to smile foolishly. "Why didn't you tell me about such an important matter?" Jack looked at Thomas with a serious expression. This was the first time in years that he blamed his brother-in-law. Usually Jack treated Thomas the same way he treated Chloe. He treated Thomas as if he was his own brother, and even treated him better than he treated Avery. However, this time, Jack clearly was upset at Thomas's stupidity. It was a pity that he trusted this kid so much and even told him about the incubus. However, he was not reliable at all and was used by others. Thomas could sense that something was wrong, so he scratched his head and stuttered, "I wanted to inform you, but Stella just woke up, and she's still emotionally unstable. One moment she's hungry, the next she's thirsty, the next moment she's cold, and the next moment she's warm. She also said that I shouldn't tell you, sis and mom, that she's awake, and she's going to be discharged tomorrow to give you a surprise." As soon as Thomas said this, Jack turned around. He reached out and grabbed Justin's shoulder. "Hurry! Let's go back to the hospital and find Stella." Justin immediately understood what Jack was thinking and quickly activated the prayer beads. Thomas was indeed an idiot. He was completely fooled by Stella. She kept ordering him around to distract him, and she almost made Thomas take the blame for her. Justin and Jack didn't dare to imagine what would have happened if they hadn't asked for details and killed Thomas. Then, Thomas, who had entered the dream, would die inside. How would they face Chloe if that happened? The third dream creator could be said to be Stella. Her methods were extremely vicious, and she hid very well. As the third dream creator, she had been pretending to be in a vegetative state for a long time. She tricked everyone. Now that her identity was about to be exposed, she woke up and threw the blame onto Thomas. Justin activated the prayer beads again. This time, his target was Stella's ward at the first hospital. Thomas watched as the two men magically disappeared into thin air. Thomas was so frightened that he forgot what he was going to buy and ran back as fast as he could. Justin thought he could just go back to the ward, but to his surprise, the room was empty. The woman who was talking to them just now was nowhere to be found. "Justin, quick, track Stella with your mind." Jack knew something was wrong with Stella, so he wouldn't dare let her run around. He was afraid that she would become a threat to others, so he was very anxious. Once again, Justin dragged Jack and activated the prayer beads. However, no matter how hard he tried, when he thought about Stella, he was unable to concentrate his mental strength. Seeing that something was wrong with Justin, Jack immediately woke him up. "What is it?" "I feel weird. Whenever I think of Stella, her face becomes blurry and I can't think of her appearance." "How could this be?" Jack was surprised. Justin was also sweating nervously. "I don't know either." "Is it because you don't have a deep impression of Stella? What if I find a photo for you? Try it again," Jack suggested. Justin shook his head. "The situation is like this, Jack. It's not that I don't remember Stella's face. But when I tried to gather my thoughts in my head, it was as if something automatically blocked them. That's why I couldn't use the power of the prayer beads. Do you think she knows that her identity is exposed and has run away? Did she do something to my prayer beads? After all, we used the prayer beads in the hospital just now. If she's a dream creator, she would know about this thing. Justin's reaction was extremely fast as he analyzed the situation. Jack nodded. Before Jack could say anything, the entire hospital began to shake. It felt like an earthquake. Jack didn't understand this feeling, but Justin was very familiar with it. This was the sign of the dream collapsing. Shit, the hospital might be an illusion created by Stella. Now she's going to use an illusion to deal with us. Run! In his panic, Justin grabbed Jack's collar and ran out. Fortunately, the two of them reacted in time. When they ran out, the hospital had collapsed. It was like watching the end of the world in the movie. Jack was secretly glad that this was a dream, so he didn't have to worry about so many innocent people dying in the hospital. In this huge hospital, he and Justin were probably the only real people. Everyone else was probably fictional. Of course, Thomas still had to be examined. Did he enter the dream, or was he a fictional character? It depended on whether Thomas was gone after killing Stella. Jack, what are we going to do now? Where are we going to find her? Justin was out of breath, and he was starting to feel a little dejected. This time, they had alerted the dream creator, and the dream creator had escaped. It was obviously not going to be advantageous for them. Jack remained silent as his mind raced, trying to think of a plan. Do you think the monster will run to South Hill Manor? Our people are all there. Justin was terrified just thinking about it. If she went to South Hill Manor, wouldn't they all be wiped out? Jack shook his head and said with certainty, no, she wouldn't dare to go. Everyone at South Hill Manor was there, and they knew about the dream. Anne had even killed Messiah with Justin last time. The professor was also there. Even if this dream creator was crazy, she would not dare to go against them head-on. Now that 2 dream creators had died, it was not a wise decision to send themselves to their deaths. Looking at how this dream creator had been disguising as Stella for so long, it was obvious that she was a very shrewd dream creator. Therefore, she wouldn't be so stupid as to go to South Hill Manor to die. Therefore, Jack was certain that she wouldn't go there. Justin was about to say something when Jack suddenly spoke. Justin, do you remember the look of Chloe's mother? You mean Lynn? No, my mother-in-law. Ah, you mean Auntie Sandra, I remember. Well, take us to her with the prayer beads. Hurry. Okay. Justin didn't ask why. In times of crisis, as long as Jack said something, he would believe his analysis. Justin closed his eyes and activated the prayer beads again. The image of Sandra appeared in his mind. In an instant, they arrived at Sandra's house at Sky Blessing Court. But right now, the living room was filled with blood. The bodyguards Jack had sent to protect his mother-in-law, the private doctor, and the nanny were all lying in pools of blood. Oh my God, are we too late? Justin looked at the scene in shock. Even though he knew it was a dream, he was still shocked. Jack looked at everything and didn't move at all. Then he looked at the stairs upstairs. Justin, let's go up. Be careful, he said. Then Justin followed behind Jack as the 2 men walked up the stairs. The Sky Blessing Court no longer had the warmth of the past. Instead, it was replaced by a chilling aura. When they reached the master bedroom upstairs, Jack suddenly stopped in his tracks. Then he heard a woman singing. It was an a cappella singing. That south wind blows cool. The nightingales singing. The flowers under the moon were all in a dream. Only the fragrance of the night came. Justin felt his scalp go numb. This was the classic song of a superstar. It was a very charming old song. However, the atmosphere now sounded no less than a haunted house. Upon closer inspection, he realized that it was not Stella's voice, nor Sandra's. Jack clenched his fists and pushed open the door. The scene inside surprised the 2 men. They thought that Sandra had long been killed by Stella. To their surprise, Sandra was sitting on the makeup chair and doing her makeup in front of the mirror. She was wearing a dark green velvet cheongsam, which was very befitting to the old era. whereas the third dream creator was still using Stella's face. She was wearing a dark red cheongsam. It was very sexy, the kind that showed off her legs. She was standing behind Sandra, combing her hair. As she combed her hair, she sang the song. Justin and Jack felt as if they were watching a horror movie. It was the kind of atmosphere that would be there before a ghost appeared. Justin subconsciously swallowed his saliva to express his nervousness. At this moment, Stella suddenly turned her head and smiled at them. "You guys are here?" That smile was extremely eerie. "Let go of my mom!" Jack coldly glanced at Stella. The woman acted like she didn't hear what Jack said. Then she whispered into Sandra's ear, "Mom, look, who's here?" Sandra slowly turned around. She looked at Jack and then at Justin with a dazed look. "Who are they? What did you do to my mom?" Seeing that his mother-in-law didn't recognize him, Jack felt a little anxious. If something happened to his mother-in-law, Chloe wouldn't be able to take it. "Nothing, I just told her to dress up nicely. I'm taking her to see James." With that, Stella laughed insolently and devilishly. Justin and Jack's hearts tightened. Both James of the real world and of the dream was dead. Did Stella mean that she wanted Sandra to die? "Come at us if you have anything, don't bully the elderly." Justin pointed at Stella and scolded. Stella wasn't in a hurry and continued to comb Sandra's hair. Then she laughed softly and said, "You guys are quite capable to have killed 2 dream creators. I was thinking that even if I did not reveal my identity, you guys would still slowly find out. Why don't I wake up and fight with you guys? You are really good at pretending to be in a vegetative state. I didn't expect it to be you." Justin really didn't expect it to be Stella. "Who's the boss behind you? What's his motive? Are you all here for the Red Demon?" At this point, Jack didn't want to hide anything, so he decided to ask around and see if he could find out anything about the person behind this. Stella just smiled. "Other dream creators might be doing it for the Red Demon and the boss, but I am not." "So you have other motives?" Jack looked into Stella's eyes. Stella put down her comb. Then she turned around, took 2 steps forward, and looked at Jack. "Do you really not know me? We've met before?" Jack was slightly surprised by Stella's words. He didn't seem to understand what Stella meant. Justin was also confused. At this moment, Stella covered her face with one hand and lowered her head. When she looked up again, her face had changed. That face was no longer Stella's. The dream creator was not Stella herself. She had used Stella's identity to hide beside them. Now that her identity was exposed, she could no longer hide. Was that why she wanted to reveal her true identity? But this face. At that moment, Jack felt a strange sense of familiarity, but he didn't know where he had seen it before. It was a beautiful face, sexy and exquisite. This woman looked to be in her 20s. Her face was rich in collagen. Anyone who saw her would say that she was a beauty. "Jack, do you really not remember me?" The woman looked at Jack with sadness in her eyes. "Jack, do you know her?" Justin tilted his head and looked at Jack, not knowing what to do. Who would have thought that the third dream creator would suddenly show her face? Moreover, she seemed to be an old acquaintance of Jack. Jack suddenly felt a splitting headache. He tried his best to recall, but he could not remember where he had seen this woman before. Then, the woman smiled and changed her clothes instantly. Her dark red, sexy cheongsam instantly changed into a black nightsuit, and there was a mask on her face. Looking into those long-lost eyes, Jack suddenly remembered something. "So, it's you," he pointed at the woman. It turned out that this woman's eyes resemble someone. It was Chloe. She looked like Chloe. However, with those exquisite features, she didn't look like Chloe anymore. She only looked like Chloe when wearing a mask. Jack finally remembered everything. A few years ago, when he was recuperating in America, he attended a party with Avery. The woman he had accidentally saved, she wore a black nightsuit and had eyes like Chloe's. Lighter, skeleton, Doomsday Reaper. That's right, she was from the Doomsday Reaper. However, the Doomsday Reaper actually had a dream maker. Jack never expected this. "Are you from Doomsday Reaper?" Jack frowned slightly as he looked at her. A chill ran down his spine. Many people knew about the mysterious organization Doomsday Reaper, but not many had seen it before. Jack's hasty appearance back then saved her by accident. He didn't do it on purpose. Back then, the woman had left behind a lighter. Later on, she did help Jack a lot. At least, Legend and the others were afraid of him. Jack thought that he would never get to know this mysterious organization. Unexpectedly, they met in the incubus. Earlier, Jack thought that Layla was that woman. Later, when Lynn died and Layla disappeared, he realized that Layla was just a person created by a dream creator. She did not really exist. However, no matter what, Jack never thought that the woman would be the third dream creator. "Ha ha, you actually remembered me." The woman smiled contentedly as she stared at Jack with another meaningful gaze. "She's from Doomsday Reaper?" Justin had heard of this organization before, so he was surprised by what Jack said. The woman ignored Justin and continued to speak to Jack. "Jack, would you believe me if I said I entered the dream for you?" Jack didn't answer her abrupt question. Instead, he looked at her in confusion. "I thought Layla was... I didn't expect it to be you." "Layla? Are you talking about that puppet?" "Yes, Lynn is dead, the puppet that disappeared," Jack said. Stella smiled. "No, she is not Lynn. She is one of us, and an outstanding dream creator. She just transformed into Lynn to confuse you guys. Of course, they underestimated you guys too much. That's why they died without a complete corpse. I am different from them. They are here for the Red Demon. And I am here for you." This woman said that she came for him. Not only was Jack speechless, but Justin was also confused. What's going on? Was she Jack's fervent fan? Chasing someone into a dream? Wouldn't that be too much? "What do you want?" Jack looked at the woman coldly. "What I want is very simple. I can spare everyone. I can also let your people go out and help you unravel the dream. But I have a condition. You must leave with me." Jack remained silent. However, Justin cursed, "You shameless batch. You're quite ambitious. You want Jack? Why don't you go to hell?" The woman looked at Justin and smiled. "Won't you be the happiest when Jack leaves? I like Jack, so I'm taking him away. You like Jack's wife and children, so you can get everything you want. Isn't this the perfect ending?" "F you. Stop trying to scare us. You won't be able to take anyone with you today, and we'll kill you together." Justin had a bad temper, so he was angered by the woman's words and immediately cursed. "Jack, are you really unwilling to leave with me?" The woman looked at Jack lovingly. When she transformed into Stella, she really hid very well and did not reveal any flaws at all. However, once she returned to her original self, she could no longer hide her love for Jack. That gaze did not seem fake. Before Jack could say anything, the woman continued, "With both of your capabilities, it's almost impossible for you to kill 4 dream creators and escape. The 4 dream creators are all our people, the people of Doomsday Reaper. You might not know how powerful we were born to be. Our people are talented, so we were born to be dream creators. As the future heir, I didn't have to enter the dream myself, but because of you, I stayed in the dream for so long. Jack, I once thought that no man in this world was worthy of me, until I met you in America. At that moment, I could almost be certain that you were the man I've always wanted to find. Come with me. I can give you whatever Chloe can. As for what Chloe can't give you, I can give you that as well. As long as you wish, I can give you whatever you want. If you are not willing to return to the real world, I can create an ocean for you in the dream. We can build a glass house in the middle of the ocean. Then, we can watch the stars together at night. We can also give birth to many children. So long as you are willing, I can stay with you in the dream forever." The more she spoke, the more agitated she became. In the end, tears of excitement even flowed down her face. She had liked Jack for a long time and had been observing him in the dream all these days. She was waiting for the last person to die and for them to obtain the Red Demon. When they would be about to leave, she would take Jack away. However, she did not expect things to turn around. Half of her people were dead. Jack and Justin began their counterattack. Little batch, it's time to wake up. If you keep talking, even you'll think it's real." Jack remained unmoved by the woman's words. Justin, on the other hand, was too impatient to wait for her to continue and interrupted her. Jack stood in front of the woman. After hearing her passionate confession, he only replied faintly, "Help us unravel the dream and bring us out. I can spare your life." Justin couldn't help but give Jack a thumbs up. "Jack, you're still the coolest. You listened to all her bullshit and slapped her in the face, haha." "Jack, are you sure you don't want to think about it? I don't want to fight you. I don't want to hurt you. Don't force me, really." The woman looked at Jack with a tender expression. "Cut the crap and get this over with. My wife is still at home waiting for me to eat hot pot." Jack was running out of patience. In this world, aside from Chloe, there was no other woman that could move his heart for even a second. "Fine, since you're so stubborn, I'll show you something fun." After saying that, the woman clenched her fists tightly. They could not tell what she had done. The comb on Sandra's desk suddenly turned into a black, red-headed, poisonous snake. It jumped up and wrapped around Sandra's neck twice. Finally, it flicked its tongue at her face. "Ah! Help! There's a snake! There's a snake!" Sandra screamed. Before Jack and Justin could say anything, the woman said proudly, "Chloe Mother entered the dream from the real world. If I give the order, my baby will bite her to death. If she dies, she'll be dead in the real world. You probably know this too, right?" Thanks for tuning in to the Cool Audio Podcast. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a fellow story lover. Until next time, stay cool and keep listening.